What's up, guys? Mario CrossFit Naples here. Hey, we're also doing another series on the blog. It's called Regressions instead of Progressions, and the reason I say that is because we hold the gold standard in every single movement that we do, and I want to teach regressions to those movements so that we can eventually get to that gold standard. So the regression today is handstand push-ups. Actually, even harder than that would be parallel handstand push-ups, or harder than that actually is the rings. Actually, let's show that real quick. All right, gold standard ring handstand push-up. Set, drive out. Set, drive out. If that would be the gold standard, right? Let's create regressions to that position. So we got up a whole bunch of setups here that I might use with my participants in class. First one, parallettes, right? Set up, lock and load. Let's kick towards the wall. Boom. Get to that position. Set up. I would set these a little bit wider. I forget what the standard at the games was. Set, lock, find that. Drive out. That's a tough one, right? Create that, right? That's a huge deficit there. We can bring it into a not as great deficit, right? Either ab mat with 2 bumper plates to raise that deficit. Same thing, set. Here is good because there's a good standard, right, in the holes. Drive, push out, right? That's a good standard because I can see the head touch the mat and lock out to full extension. We can even go to the mat, right? Same thing. We use the mat as a security precaution, right? I don't want anyone hurting themselves. But we can set it here. Same thing. Lock it up. Drive out. Drive out. We'll continue on those modifications. Tara's going to come and show some other ones. Actually, there's one other one, the kipping. We're using hip extension to drive this weight up. So basically, the trick with this one is to make sure that you load your hip on the wall. Because if you don't, when I come to set for a kip, let me show it real quick actually. If I don't set my hip on the wall on that kip, what you'll find is I would fall off, okay? So you have to put some pressure onto the wall. So if I were to do this here and not lean myself on the wall, I would fall down. So I teach, hey, get your head out a little bit further and then dump your hip on the wall, drive your knees down, lock out. You need a little bit of coordination with that because you have to push off the ground as you fully extend, okay? Can't be uncoordinated about that movement. Tara's going to show some other modifications as we keep regressing through the handstands. So a common modification is a static hold. She's basically just going to lock herself in that position here. What we're looking for is that strong, steady position there. Good, Tara. Kick a little bit harder. As a coach, I want to grab that thigh and push her right here. And you notice I only grab one thigh because at any point that my member wanted to bail, they can drop that free leg. So that's always something important to think about. For bigger people, I would want to try something like a wall climb where they can walk in, because most struggle with big people is that they can't invert themselves. So I want to push them as far back as they can. If she's strong enough to come stomach to wall, that's where we want to be. But any of that is good, all right, if that's where they're at. Cool, so she walks off. We also use other modification. We can get them on a box and she can pike herself up really high. That seems to work and be useful as well, where she's piking herself really high. She's got her knees on the box. She's going to mimic that handstand as best as possible and drive out, okay? Mimic as best as possible and drive out. The other way of doing that is getting off her knees and going to her feet. From that position, she can just drive out, drive back down. And that one's pretty good as well. The only challenge with that is obviously setting up and getting in and out of that position is a little awkward from time to time. We also can do the same movement on the bench, all right? You don't need a special box in order to get in that. Just use what you have, all right? She's going to pike herself, come in, rock it back out. Come in, rock it back out, right? But she's going, the focus of that is piking, getting herself inverted as best as possible. The other thing I want to talk about is transferability. all these movements, all our movements we have considered transferable. And what I mean by that is, how can gymnastic movements transfer into better weightlifting movements, right? Mastering the handstand will only get me better at pressing out barbell movements or anything overhead, right? If I get in a bad habit of all my handstands looking like this, all my handstands looking this off here, I got this big arch on my back and I'm just here and I'm sloppy, you see sloppy wavy legs. What do you think is going to happen when I get them into this press position and I ask them to press really tight? You know what's going to happen on that press? They're going to come out here and then give me that arch that they do in their handstand. They're going to look up and do stuff like this, right? Because of those transferabilities. Good traits and bad traits both transfer over. So hey, when we get them in this position, when I get them inverted, hey, I want to lock them up into this rigid position because I know that in that press, I'm rigid, I'm tight, and I'm driving overhead. Same concept as the weightlifting, as the weightlifting as the gymnastics, okay? There's no way possible that your press is going to improve with a crappy handstand push-up or modification. So you got to see where your clients are at and how you want to progress them, but knowing, hey, there's gold standards to everything we have. We have progressions and regressions to all our movements. Guys, hope you like it. Talk to you soon. Bye.